Double XP is available until April 18th. I'm here to give you 4 methods that you can capitalize on, not only to finish the program, but also get unlimited wheel spins. The first method is going to live inside of single player modes, in particular inside of play versus CPU. You're going to be playing on rookie difficulty at all times, so you can even go ahead and play players out of position. That way you capitalize on both parallel XP missions as well as stat missions that you're going to have to do. It involves you playing an entire 9 innings. So if you're going to play the entire 9 innings, if you don't have a ton of hitters that you need to get parallel XP missions for, as well as stat missions, I highly suggest playing as home. That way you don't have to hit an extra half and you can just go ahead, pitch that half, end it. Another big tip is, if you have a lot of starting pitchers, let's say for example, you finish Team Affinity or you're close to finishing Team Affinity and you have a bunch of these guys that you need to go ahead and get 12 strikeouts for, when you go to the bullpen, instead of going and changing to a bullpen arm, as soon as you get 12 strikeouts, just go ahead and change it to the next arm that needs 12 strikeouts. Alek Manoah, he has 9 innings pitched, so you would go ahead and grind out an entire 9 innings with him. When it comes to the hitters and how you build your lineup for the 9 inning method, it is very important also to have bench players that can replace whatever players you have stat missions to do for and parallel XP missions, especially if you know that you're very close to finishing a parallel XP mission or a stat mission. For example, let's say we had Pete Alonso at first base. His mission is to hit 3 home runs. We only need to hit 1 home run, and the first at bat we get that home run we need. What we could do is, instantly as Pete comes up to hit again, or so you don't forget, as soon as you go to field, you replace Pete Alonso with another player from your bench that you need to go ahead and get parallel XP for or stat missions as well. I'm telling you, this is super efficient. The second option is going to be a little bit different. Now you're not going to be playing as home, instead you are going to be playing as away. And I have an all common team. You guys might be saying, Blade, why do you have that? It's only because I like having an all common team to replace the players that I need for the missions with, because if they're all diamond, it makes it a little hard for me to read which are the players that are already inside the roster and which are the players that are not already on the roster. So if you have a ton of parallel XP missions players, you're going to be playing at Coors Field as away. What time, what year, it doesn't matter. Generally, you want to put your 5th best starting pitcher. Why? So they also put their 5th best starting pitcher, and it's a lot easier for you to go ahead and hit. Now listen to me carefully. You want to hit around inside the top of the first. So if your first hitter does not have a second plate appearance inside the top of the first, if you quit out, the parallel XP will not count for those missions. But if your first hitter is the final out, or let's say you bat around and your second and third hitter hit as well, and then the third hitter is the final out, if you quit out, then without having to pitch in the bottom of the first, you get full parallel XP. You might say to yourself, Blade, why would I do that instead of playing out the entire game? The reason why is because if it is only hitters that you are prioritizing right now, then pitching would just be wasting time, unless of course you also had a pitcher you wanted to work on for parallel XP missions. But if that was the case, then why don't you just play the entire 9 innings like we said inside the first method? Before we get into the last method, let me remind you to hit that like button, the subscribe button, notification bell, aiming for 30,000 subscribers before the start of summer. Check out the description for the Twitch, Discord, social medias, and how to become a member. The final 2 methods inside of play versus CPU do not require you to get a second plate appearance with that first hitter. These are stat missions that you have to do. For example, for Miguel Cabrera, it was to hit 10 hits. So what we would do if Miguel Cabrera was the only hitter that we need, or let's say we had a couple of captains that we needed to get extra base hits for or home runs for, we would make sure that those guys are at the top of the lineup. Once we place them at the top of the lineup, we do the same method as the parallel XP method. We play as away, we play at Coors Field, we select the 5th best starting pitcher and make sure that those guys are 1, 2, 3, 4 or as many as you have. The difference here is that you can quit as soon as you get the 3 outs. You're not going to be getting the parallel XP added towards the missions, but that's because you don't have parallel XP missions to do. Instead, those are stat missions. So if you only had Miguel Cabrera and you needed the 10 hits and you wanted to get it done as fast as possible, you would make him the leadoff hitter. You would go into single player modes, play versus CPU as away, and then if he gets a hit, you quit out. If he doesn't get a hit, you quit out. If you got more hitters that you need to do stat missions for, as soon as the final out is recorded in the top of the first, you go ahead and quit out. With pitching, on the other hand, hand, you are going to be playing as away instead of home. Why? Because you either only need innings pitched or you either only need strikeouts, but this is primarily for the strikeouts one. You're going to play as home, and as soon as you finish that top of the first where you either struck out all 3, didn't strike out none, or struck out whichever number of hitters, you are going to quit out as well. Why? Because it counts as progress towards stat missions, and you still are going to get not a ton of XP, but you will get XP. Next method is probably the most efficient one. It's going to involve either conquest or mini seasons. And why is it the most efficient? Because you will be able to get captain stat missions such as saves done here, as long as you keep the game within 3, and there are repeatable missions that keep on giving you packs. For example, if you were to go inside the Smooth Jazz map, you will always receive show packs. In total, you are going to receive 5 show packs for completing the map, which is only 4 strongholds, and you will also be able to get the 3 saves if you keep the games within 3. The Nation of Baseball, even though this one is much longer, the reward is a whole lot better, as you get 20 standard packs as well as 3,000 stubs for completing the map all over again. So if you love Conquest, that's what you would do. If you don't love Conquest, mini seasons is a little bugged right now, we will admit that, so you might encounter the error that says invalid roster, forcing you to restart, and I don't know if you want to do that. But inside of mini seasons, if you play on veteran difficulty or higher and you get a custom stadium, or if you don't have next gen and you want to use Coors Field or Laughing Mountain Park, this is still very doable. On veteran difficulty or higher, once you tally 50 total bases, you will receive 5 standard packs. So if you go ahead and rinse and repeat, and each time you complete this, you restart the mini season, you will not only be able to be working on your double XP, parallel XP stat missions, parallel XP missions, but you will also get 5 standard packs, 1.5k XP, and 1,000 stubs. And the 1.5k XP is over that daily cap limit, so you will still be able to obtain it even if you have hit that daily cap gameplay XP. Our third method is a little bit more difficult to do because you are facing other players, so your performance actually matters a whole lot more, and it's not going to be super easy to do. You're also time limited. For example, inside of this event, you only have until the 21st till the event is over and you can't obtain these rewards anymore. But the cool thing about this event is it allows you to use live series pitchers and live series hitters. So if you truly wanted to, you could go ahead and have a team full of NLS players or AOS players that are live series players, let's say for example, and work on that team build parallel XP missions. In Battle Royale, on the other hand, you want to make sure that when you draft players for the Battle Royale program, if you're not done yet, that you are drafting players that you still need parallel XP missions for, whether it's silver, whether it's gold, whether it's diamond, and then you want to keep track of what it is you need to do to also complete the BR missions. You also get 1 Battle Royale point per win, and this program is ending soon, so make sure you stay on top of that. But when we talk about ranked gets a little bit more difficult. A lot of people quit out, but there are solo stat missions for you to do, as well as solo parallel XP missions for you to do. So make sure you go ahead and knock this out as soon as possible. It ends in 27 days, so I would prioritize getting the double XP as well as the parallel XP missions in events and Battle Royale before ranked. Real quick, let me remind you to please hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, aiming for 30,000 subscribers before the start of summer. Help me reach that. Inside the description, you got the Twitch, Discord, social medias, and how to become a member.